So yeah, the Indiana Fever. The Indiana Fever have just signed Chloe Bibby to her rest season contract. Why is it? And thank God the Indiana Fever made this decision. I was getting really scared. I was getting really scared that the Fever just weren't going to sign her.
The Indiana Fever just made the kind of move that keeps rival GMs up at night. Chloe Bibby only needed 2 games, too, to prove she was the real deal. That was all it took for the Fever front office to say, "Yup, we're not risking this one." Before anyone else could blink, they locked her in. Boomer stuff season, contract signed, sealed, and delivered.
And then Chloe Bibby, that stretch 4 that they've been missing, who was just signed for the rest of the season. Meaning Chloe Bibby's audition went really well for the Indiana Fever. Clearly, there you see the graphic. She was signed rest of the season contract. She was on a 7-day contract. She has produced in limited minutes for the team. I mean, playing her role, 24 minutes, 18 points in the 24 minutes, 4 of 8 from beyond the arc. She does not hesitate to shoot the ball.
This wasn't your standard wait-and-see approach. This was a front office moving like they knew they'd just struck gold. The 27-year-old Australian forward came in on a 7-day hardship contract. Like she was just filling a spot in the background, but she played like the spotlight was always hers. Now, she's not just part of the cast, she's got a starring role in Indiana's biggest basketball story.
I think this is the difference we're seeing right now between this and that hardship situation. They didn't have to let her go and then wait a certain amount of time. They made a decision to go ahead and just pull the trigger and bring her in for the rest of the year. I think it's a great look for the Indiana Fever. I also think it's a bit of an indictment on the Indiana Fever front office off-season because their 2 best moves look like they've been made during the year. Aari McDonald, Chloe Bibby.
Chloe Bibby didn't just impress, she shattered expectations like a wrecking ball through wet paper. In just 2 games, she averaged 9 points while torching the net with a blistering 50% from beyond the arc. That's right, 50% from 3. Some players grind all season chasing that number. Bibby, she walked in off a hardship deal and made it look like a warm-up drill at the neighborhood YMCA.
And honestly, it was a no-brainer. It was a no-brainer to get her in, man, because my favorite type of players, honestly, my favorite type of players are the 3-and-D players, man. They are so essential to championship teams, to great defenses, to punishing players on turnovers. Those 3-and-D type of players, yeah, those are the main ones that can help you with that.
Her debut against the Chicago Sky, 8 points in 11 minutes. Not too shabby for a first impression. But then came the Phoenix Mercury game. And that's when she really turned up the heat-dropping 10 points in just 13 minutes, sinking 2 threes like she was playing NBA 2K on rookie mode. She was straight up cooking and Fever management. They were scribbling notes like college freshmen in their first 8 a.m. lecture.
Fever finally played a fast-paced game. They have Bibby on the team, which honestly makes a big difference in spacing out the floor. Chloe Bibby went in and she did what they brought her to do. She immediately took a pull-up 3, and later on she spot up, sunk a 3. She ended up coming away with 10 points for the night. She was also impactful defensively, coming away with a steal.
Here's where this move shows some serious front office brilliance. The Indiana Fever didn't just glance at Chloe's stats and say, she's solid. They saw the full package. A 6'2" forward who can stretch the floor, something this team has been craving. Coach Stephanie White didn't even try to play it cool. She basically wrote a love letter mid-interview saying she gives us a different look than any of our other post players. With Bibby, she's a stretch 4 and she's a shooter. We haven't had that.
And with Bibby, I mean, she's a stretch 4 and she's a shooter, and we haven't had that. And so when all else fails, just pick and pop. You know, if something happens, just pick and pop. And she's a high IQ player. She understands, you know, how to play, how to make plays. She's shot ready every time, and that's important. And it's also important that our passes are on time, on target to someone who's shot ready all the time. And I think we've been doing a better job with that.
If you're enjoying this, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. The Fever have been trying to build the perfect puzzle around Caitlin Clark, and out of nowhere, the missing piece strolls in like she came via Amazon Prime. Floor spacing? Check. Knockdown three-point shooting? Double check. Forcing defenses to stay honest because they can't afford to sag off her? Triple check, cherry included. But let's shift gears and talk about what this signing really means for someone else on the roster. Brianna Turner. She was supposed to be the defensive anchor, the veteran glue, the final piece in Indiana's championship blueprint. Instead, she's been about as useful as a chocolate teapot. Turner is averaging just 0.4 points and 0.9 rebounds in 4.1 minutes per game. She's shooting a painful 20% from the field, missing 4 out of every 5 shots she takes. Right now, her most consistent contribution might just be keeping the bench warm for players like Bai.
Chloe Bibby is 6'2", 194. Brianna Turner is 6'3", 175. All right, now Bibby is what you want to call a stretch 4. This is from Stephanie White's very own mouth. Quote, she's a stretch 4, she's a shooter. We haven't had that, Fever coach Stephanie White said. So when all else fails, just pick and pop. Yeah, she's a high IQ player. Well, she is also, guys, she can play guard and forward.
Meanwhile, fans have been watching Brianna Turner like they're waiting on a bus that's never coming. They were promised defensive grit, shot-blocking presence, and veteran leadership. What they got was a player who looks out of sync on the court and practically invisible in the box score. Turner's played in 14 games this season and has racked up a grand total of 5 points. 5. Chloe Bibby topped that in her first 13 minutes in a Fever jersey at this point. The writing isn't just on the wall, it's flashing in neon, surrounded by fireworks, with a full marching band playing backup. Turner's future in Indiana is looking shakier than a house of cards in a hurricane. When your team signs someone who outperforms you in 2 games flat, that's not a quiet message, it's a pink slip wrapped in a bow.
What does that mean for Brianna Turner? Because I haven't seen her play not one game. She just been taking up space. Look, this is all I'ma say. You need young, fresh legs. You know what I'm saying? People you can really use. There's no point of somebody sitting on a bench that you can't use. I understand her and Stephanie White in the organization, they have some type of relationship, but you can only keep a certain amount of players. So at the end of the day, what are we really doing? You hear me? Can she help the team right now or no?
And here's the delicious irony. While Turner has been struggling to leave any kind of mark, Chloe Bibby walked in and instantly became exactly what this team was missing. She's not just filling a roster spot, she's filling a role with real purpose, one that elevates everyone around her. Her floor spacing opens up driving lanes for Caitlin Clark, gives Kelsey Mitchell more room to cook, and unlocks the entire offense. Fever management watched 2 games and said that's it, she's the one. No waiting around for a 20-game sample size, no hand-wringing about ruffled egos, just swift, confident decision-making. The kind that separates real contenders from teams, just playing pretend. But this move isn't just about signing another player. It's about something bigger. It's about Indiana finally gaining traction. After years of being the WNBA's lovable underdogs, the Fever are starting to move like a franchise that's tired of losing and ready to build something real.
Only took you a couple games to make a great impression, man. I already saw you balling on the Valkyries, man, so it's no surprise that the Fever front office did the right thing and signed you to the rest of the season, man. Looking forward to that nice clean jump shot to keep cashing them threes, man. Indiana Fever.
The Fever are stacking depth, adding versatility, and most importantly, building the kind of roster that can make a legitimate run once Caitlin Clark returns from her groin injury. Yes, Clark being sidelined is a major setback, but this is exactly the type of forward-thinking move that keeps a team competitive in the meantime. Now, picture this. Clark comes back healthy, motivated, and ready to remind the league why she's the most electrifying player in the game, and waiting for her, Chloe, by stretching the floor and opening up the offense in ways Indiana desperately needed. Those deep threes that ignite the crowd, They get even deadlier when defenders can't collapse on Clark because Bai's out there, forcing them to stay honest. It's clear the Fever aren't just thinking about the next game. They're thinking about the postseason. With Clark eventually returning, Kelsey Mitchell continuing to score at an elite clip, Aliyah Boston controlling the paint. And by bringing that missing stretch 4 element, this team suddenly doesn't just hope to make the playoffs stay. Look ready to make some real noise once they're in, and let's not overlook. The bigger message here, this signing is a statement. The Indiana Fever are done playing the long game, hoping for growth and patience to pay off. They're making moves like a franchise that expects to win right now.
Signing Chloe Bibby, that's a big plus because she gonna give you everything. She been giving you everything that you've been missing. A sharpshooter, defensive minded, and she's a team player. She's selfless. That's the main thing that stands out to me when it comes to Chloe Bibby. She aggressive. She don't back down. Yeah, she ready. She good to go. Great sign to Indiana Fever. I am grateful and I am blessed.
The confidence the Fever are showing in Chloe Bibby is impressive, but more importantly, it's smart. She brings international experience to the table. Having just helped lead Australia to gold at the FIBA Women's Asia Cup, she's battle-tested, hungry, and built for high-pressure moments. This isn't just depth. They've added championship-caliber depth, but beyond the stat sheet, this signing sends a loud and clear message about team culture and expectations. When management moves this quickly and decisively, it tells everyone in that locker room one thing: performance matters. If you're not producing, your spot isn't safe. And that's not a threat, it's a standard. The kind of healthy pressure that pushes players to elevate their game because no one wants to be the weak link for someone like Brianna Turner. This has to feel like a 3 a.m. fire alarm. The organization just showed they're not waiting. Around 4 players to figure it out, they're willing to bring in someone who's already doing it. That's not cruel, that's professional sports. Results matter, and the Fever are showing, loud and clear, that winning is now the top priority. Every forward on this roster now knows, bring your A game. Every practice, every minute, every possession. Because the bar has been raised and Chloe Bibby is already clearing it.
Chloe Bibby is an archetype that will help them get wins. Despite she's not the most talented player in the world overall, but at the same time, she's someone who is going to fit in a role, play a role, and do exactly what's needed to do to help the team win, and she has shown that she can do that.
This isn't about creating drama or shaking things up just for the sake of it. It's about building a culture where excellence is the expectation, not the exception. The best teams thrive when players push each other to improve, and with Chloe Bibby in the mix, that's exactly what the Fever are cultivating. Her work ethic and instant impact will raise the standard across the board. And let's not overlook the fans. Indiana basketball fans know the game. They know when a player fits, when a system clicks, and when a team is finally turning the corner. In just 2 games, they saw that Bibby isn't just here to fill minutes, she's here to make the right plays, stay within the system, and elevate the team without forcing anything. For a fan base that's waited years to see their team become relevant. Again, this move feels like a breakthrough. The energy is palpable. Fans aren't just excited about Bibby, they're excited about what she represents. A front office finally making bold, intelligent moves with one goal in mind, winning, and the timing couldn't be better. The Fever are heading into a critical stretch that could define their playoff position. And locking buy-in for the rest of the season gives them exactly what every contender needs: stability and momentum. No more worrying about another short-term contract. No risk of her being scooped up by another team. She's here to stay and she's ready to make a difference.
Once again, the Fever do the right thing and sign Chloe Bibby to the rest of the season. It was just a no-brainer move, man. Chloe is a baller. Her jump shot is amazing. Her form is amazing. You can never have enough shooters on the team. Clark could shoot the 3. Kelsey could shoot the 3. Lexi could shoot the 3. Sophie could shoot the 3. Chloe could shoot the 3.
But perhaps the most revealing part of this entire situation is what it says about the new culture brewing in Indiana. Under the old regime, a move like this might have been delayed, debated to death until the opportunity slipped away. But this New front office understands something crucial. Championship windows don't stay open forever, and they're operating with the urgency that separates contenders from dreamers. They saw the talent, they recognized the fit, and they didn't hesitate. That's championship-level thinking, and it's exactly the kind of mindset that turns struggling franchises into real threats. The Fever aren't just planning for the future anymore. They're building to win right now, and Chloe Bibby is the embodiment of that shift. Here's the best part. When Caitlin Clark returns healthy and ready to light up the league again, she's going to come back to a stronger, more complete team. The Fever have been steadily constructing. Something special in the Bibby signing might just be the missing piece that takes them from promising to potent.
That Chloe Bibby, after signing her 7-day contract with the Indiana Fever, and then she did travel with the team to Dallas, but today was like day 7, she has now signed a rest of the year contract. They like what she's doing for the Fever. She's adding good minutes. She's got good quality minutes. She's got good production while she's in. So Chloe Bibby will be with the Indiana Fever for the rest of the season. They don't have to make any other moves, but they can. But we don't know if they will or not, obviously.
So while Brianna Turner sits on the bench, wondering where her role went, and while other teams are kicking themselves for not grabbing Chloe Bibby first, the Indiana Fever are sitting in the driver's seat with a roster built for a serious playoff push. They've got the star power, they've got the depth, and now they've added a difference maker in Bibby, the kind of player who can turn a first-round exit into a championship parade. Because make no mistake, this isn't just about one savvy. Signing this is about a franchise that's finally done waiting around. The Indiana Fever just sent a loud message to the entire WNBA. The rebuild is over. The days of moral victories are behind them. They're done hoping they're ready to win. With Clark on the mend, Mitchell still lighting it up, Boston dominating the paint, and by bringing that missing piece to the puzzle, Indiana's championship dream is no longer a distant fantasy. It's real. It's alive. And when this team hits full strength, the rest of the league better be ready, because Indiana's coming, and they're bringing everything they need to make some serious noise.